When you behave as though you inherently belong at the pinnacle of success, your mind begins to pave the way forward. You communicate in a different manner, moving with clarity and drawing respect toward yourself. This marks the shift from doubt to action, the aspiration being the life you are destined to live. The implications are profound. If you persist in waiting to feel ready, you may find yourself waiting indefinitely. However, if you take action now, you transform your entire existence. In just a few moments, you will learn how to act as if you fear nothing and unlock a mindset that draws success to you. This mindset overcomes your limitations. Every barrier that a person perceives is not a fixed part of the world or a fundamental aspect of reality. Instead, it is constructed piece by piece within the mind. The barriers that feel insurmountable, the limits that appear unbreakable, and the obstacles that loom over your dreams are not external forces. They are internal creations, mental barriers. Once you grasp this truth deeply, life itself undergoes a transformation. Limitations are not facts. Our beliefs can be shifted and altered. They are not the steel bars of a prison. Rather, they are shadows that dissipate as soon as the light of brave thought is cast upon them. A person who allows fear to dictate their thoughts becomes shackled by imaginary barriers. Conversely, an individual who rises with faith in their own capabilities embarks on the journey towards mastery. Reflect on the life of Hannibal Barca, the Carthaginian general trained from childhood to defy the impossible. When Rome reigned supreme over the Mediterranean, Hannibal led his army across the Alps, a feat considered suicidal by many. He approached Rome's gates accompanied by elephants, infantry, and an indomitable spirit. His journey was far from easy. It was carved through snow, fear, and perilous landscapes. Yet, through each challenge, he steadfastly refused to allow fear to dictate his destiny. What inspired this boldness? It was not luck or external validation. It was the absence of fear. Hannibal acknowledged his challenges, but he refused to worship them. He resisted the fear of rejection and the paralyzing apprehension of potential failures. Time and again, he moved forward with faith when others retreated in doubt. His legacy became the natural outcome of his unyielding courage. Every individual faces two choices at the brink of every opportunity: to act boldly or to retreat in fear. The former leads to growth, while the latter results in decay. Many people remain bound to their comfort zones, misinterpreting safety for peace. However, safety is not peace. It is stagnation masquerading as wisdom. Genuine peace arises only when a person boldly pursues their purpose, confronting uncertainty with the serene conviction of one who trusts in their inner strength. Fear is deceptive. It insists that you are unprepared, unworthy, and incapable. It hints that failure is catastrophic and that rejection is fatal. But in truth, failure is an educational experience, and rejection serves as redirection. Both are merely steps on the staircase to greatness. The only genuine danger lies in inaction, the silent destroyer of dreams. To dissolve limitations, one must act, not wait, hope, or pray for a more favorable moment. Action is the catalyst that turns the impossible into the inevitable, and bold action, free from the need for guarantees and unshackled from the yearning for certainty, characterizes all high achievers. Boldness does not equate to recklessness, it represents alignment. It is the refusal to betray one's vision and the discipline to act amidst fear, for one understands that fear is not real. The dream is what holds substance. You are greater than any obstacle you face. This is not merely an optimistic assertion. It is a fundamental truth enshrined in your very essence. Each obstacle, challenge, and difficulty serves as an invitation to rise. Those who rise, who act, who persevere, discover that the walls were merely illusions, the ceilings were fabricated, and the boundaries were mere thoughts. Within every individual lies a fire, a silent, indestructible will. It lies dormant under the weight of doubt, but awakens when called forth by purpose. When you act with fearless conviction, this fire becomes your guiding light. It illuminates the path through uncertainty and consumes the bridges of hesitation. Greatness belongs to those who dare, not to those who merely wish or endlessly analyze, but to those who act with faith and power, to those who proceed before conditions are perfect and who construct their wings on the way down. These are the builders of empires, the authors of change. The chains that bind any individual are not forged by society, they are shaped in thought. The key to breaking free is action, courageous, purposeful action. Step forward, the chains will shatter, the walls will crumble, and the world will yield. You are not confined, you are limitless. Yet, it is only through action that you will prove this. The realization of your potential shapes your reality. In the unseen workshop of the mind resides a force more potent than the world's greatest armies, the power of thought. This force carves one's destiny, fills one's character, and establishes the groundwork for every achievement. Every individual who has ascended from obscurity to greatness has first mastered their thoughts. Act as if fear is non-existent, and watch how quickly your environment adjusts to your new standards. Fear is an illusion. It is merely a thought draped in doubt. Cast it aside, and your true self will emerge. Those who learn to conquer fear become the masters of their fate and the captains of their souls. Your thoughts give rise to beliefs, which drive your actions. Consistent actions form habits, and habits build the reality in which you exist. To alter your world, you must first change your thoughts. All progress, all wealth, all peace originates within. A person who firmly believes in their purpose begins to carry themselves differently. Their gaze reflects determination. Their words exude power. They take bold actions not out of certainty of the outcome, but because they trust their cause is just, and in return, the world cooperates. Opportunities unfold, circumstances shift, and fortunes accumulate. Meanwhile, a person governed by fear hesitates and finds excuses, believing success is unattainable for them. To think without fear unlocks your potential. It transports you into the realm of possibility. It is akin to staking your claim on the peak of your dreams before embarking on the ascent. History honors the audacious thinkers, the individuals who believed in themselves when the world expressed doubt, the bridge builders, and the dream weavers. Their victories emerged not from certainty, but from courageous vision. Ask yourself, what reality am I shaping with my current thoughts? What lofty aspirations have I buried beneath fear? Most importantly, what could I achieve if I directed my thoughts entirely toward success? You are never defeated by external forces. Defeat begins in the mind. Embrace the mindset of a victor. Envision yourself becoming the individual you aspire to be and act accordingly. Speak as if you command the future. Walk as if the ground is meant for your greatest journey. Select thoughts that elevate, empower, and guide you toward your goals. When you think fearlessly, you do not await permission. Rather, you create your own opportunities. Every structure, every innovation, every triumph that exists today began as a thought firmly anchored in the mind of a daring individual. So, what reality will you choose to create? Protect your thoughts, for they are the seeds of destiny. Think boldly, think clearly, and let the power within you reshape the world around you. Furthermore, it turns setbacks into stepping stones. Every individual seeking to rise above mediocrity encounters adversity. It is not a question of if, but when. Life's setbacks are unavoidable. However, the secret known only to those who have savored greatness is that your attitude toward these setbacks dictates your trajectory. Most people stumble and linger on the ground, cursing their misfortune and questioning their worth. However, those resolute individuals, those with a vision anchored in a burning purpose, view setbacks not as punishment, but rather as preparation. This shift holds power. There is wisdom in learning to interpret failure as feedback. When you adopt this perspective and act fearlessly, even in the face of repeated defeats, something miraculous occurs. Your failures become fuel. Consider Alexander Graham Bell, a man whose vision of transmitting the human voice across distances was once deemed absurd. His laboratory was filled with breakdown after breakdown. His prototypes failed, and his ideas faced challenges. Yet, he never surrendered to despair. Each setback was not a sign of impossibility, but a lesson in disguise. Each error became a teaching moment. Every delay acted as a whetstone to sharpen his resolve. Thus, fueled by unyielding faith in his purpose, he persevered, and his setbacks became the stepping stones that led to the invention of the telephone, a device that forever transformed human communication. So, what will you do with your setbacks? Will you treat them as chains, or will you harness them as chisels to carve your future? The most profound transformation you can experience lies in embracing the idea that nothing is ever wasted, not pain, not rejection, not failure. Every experience serves as either a lesson or a lever. It is not the events that unfold around you that carry weight. Rather, it is how you respond to those events that truly matters. Fearless living does not signify an absence of failure. Instead, it marks the absence of defeatist thinking. It embodies the belief that adversity is temporary and that you possess the strength to rise above. When you cultivate this mindset, you begin to recognize that obstacles are not impassable barriers. They are the pathway. The individual who conquers their circumstances is the one who never allows temporary setbacks to become permanent shortcomings, one who rises time and again, each time gaining wisdom, strength, and resolve. Setbacks often serve as the universe's test of your commitment to your desires, asking, "How deeply do you wish for this?" They challenge your resolve. If your answer is unwavering, if your attitude remains steady, you will surpass the test and advance toward your rewards. When failure knocks on your door, welcome it as a messenger. Ask it, "What lesson do you bring?" Once you decipher the lesson, move forward with swiftness and certainty. Do not dwell or wallow in self-pity. Let your mind dominate your circumstances. The giants of industry, the pioneers of invention, and the leaders of change all share this trait. They transformed setbacks into staircases. Your journey will undoubtedly be filled with trials, but should you foster the right mindset, each challenge will fortify you, making you stronger, wiser, and closer to your objectives. Allow your setbacks to clarify your vision, refine your purpose, and cultivate a resilience that no force can shatter. The truth is that there is no such thing as failure. There are merely lessons and stepping stones. Your attitude serves as the compass that leads to your inevitable victory. Within every life, there comes a moment when the path ahead is obscured by doubt, creating a decision point, to pause or to push forward. Fear functions as the gatekeeper that obstructs access to your destiny. Yet, action, decisive, courageous action, serves as the key. You were not born to hesitate or retreat in the face of risk. The same mind that engenders fear also possesses the power to conquer it. To overcome fear is simple yet profound. Take action. Every individual who has made a significant impact in the world has done so by moving forward amidst their fears. They experienced fear but did not yield to it. They understood that action breeds confidence, while inaction feeds doubt. Andrew Carnegie, for instance, did not emerge from a background steeped in wealth or privilege. His beginnings were modest, his means limited. Yet within him burned a spirit that refused to wait for permission or ideal circumstances. He acted boldly, guided by a vision so grand that it appeared foolish to many. He began modestly, delivering telegrams, working long hours while observing and learning. Then, step by fearless step, he began to build. He invested in himself, surrounding himself with knowledge and wise counsel. His courage amplified his capabilities, awakening strengths and talents that might have remained dormant. From such humble beginnings, Carnegie ascended to become one of history's greatest industrialists. This embodies an eternal principle. When you advance with determination, life shifts alongside you. You do not need to see the complete staircase to take the first step. You only need to start. The act of beginning, no matter how imperfectly, triggers a cascading effect. You unlock ideas, resources, relationships, and strengths that existed just beyond the threshold of hesitation. Within you lie untested abilities, talents waiting to be engaged, and powers resting dormant, awaiting your call. These attributes awaken through action, not mere thoughts. Do not wait for fear to dissipate. Move while fear is still present. Each step taken in fear reduces its grip on you, and soon you will look back and marvel at why you ever doubted your own strength. The distinction between those who achieve and those who only dream is not talent or luck. It is initiative, the capability to state, "Though I feel fear, I will act regardless." Action serves as the alchemy that transforms vision into reality, a bridge between imagination and manifestation. It materializes the invisible into the tangible, and with each fearless action, your power multiplies. Fear has a clever way of disguising itself, appearing as logic, caution, or prudence. However, its ultimate goal remains consistent: to keep you stagnant. I ask you, what dreams have you delayed? What ideas remain untouched? What goals linger behind the lock of fear? The key rests within your grasp. Use it. Take that first step. Speak the words, make the call, initiate the project. Move. Because, in movement, your power is unveiled. You cannot comprehend your true strength until you face a challenge. You will not discover your full potential until you commit to taking the leap. Fear relinquishes its hold the moment you choose to act boldly, and in that moment, you begin your ascent. Remember, fear is the lock, but you hold the key. Turn it and stride courageously into your greatness. Fear guides your courageous actions, a common misunderstanding that must be dispelled. Acting without fear does not imply the absence of fear altogether. No individual who accomplished anything great was devoid of fear. The distinction lies between the average person and the individual of destiny. The latter moves forward in spite of fear. Courage blossoms not in comfort, but in the flames of uncertainty during moments when the path ahead is clouded and the outcome remains unknown. To act courageously is to declare to the universe that your purpose outweighs your fear. Ulysses S. Grant was no stranger to fear. He frequently faced overwhelming odds in battle. However, it was not the circumstances that defined him, but rather the decisions he made within those circumstances. While others hesitated, he advanced. While others doubted, he led with command. His consistent, courageous actions altered tides, won wars, and shifted the course of history. Grant did not wait to feel courageous. He chose courage time and again, embodying it. So too must you. Fear is not your adversary, rather, it serves as the indicator that you are approaching a growth edge. It manifests when you venture beyond the familiar, and it can either stop your progress or propel you upward. Courage represents the choice to act anyway. Every time you choose courage, you reinforce a powerful truth within your being: I am capable. Each brave decision enables you to sculpt a new identity, one not enslaved by limitations, but guided by a daring vision. Recognize this clearly. Courage is not an isolated event. It is a habit. It is not limited to heroes or extraordinary individuals. It is accessible to you in the everyday choices you encounter. You might find the courage to speak the truth when silence seems easier, to leap when staying put feels safe, or to stand alone if it means standing for what is right. These are not grand, dramatic acts. They are simple, intentional decisions repeated over time. And these decisions ultimately change lives. Courage is the quiet power that generates momentum. It does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers, "Try again tomorrow." The beauty of courage is that it compounds. Every act of bravery, no matter how small, deposits into the reservoir of self-belief. Over time, this wellspring of inner strength becomes unshakable. You will start to trust yourself, facing challenges not with fear, but with readiness. The individual who chooses courage daily becomes someone the world cannot overlook. So, I ask you, what would you dare to do if fear did not bind you? What actions have you postponed because fear held the perception of control? What could become possible if you made the decision to act despite that fear? This is your invitation. Choose courage, not as a one-time act, but as a daily practice. Speak boldly, decide swiftly, act deliberately. Because each time you do, you step closer to the person you were meant to be. Courage is not something you discover, It is something you elect, and in choosing it, you change everything. Fear may visit, but it no longer governs. You are not led by doubt. You are guided by conviction. You are not hindered by thoughts of what may go wrong. You are propelled by the belief that what must go right will indeed flourish. Let courage be your compass, and you will never lose your way. In this life, the bold do not wait for strength. They forge it one brave action at a time. Moreover, courage dispels doubt. Nothing is more debilitating to the human spirit than doubt. It whispers lies, fuels hesitation, and stalls progress. Doubt is the silent thief of dreams. But it is crucial to understand that doubt paralyzes, whereas fearlessness liberates. When you take bold, unwavering action, when you dare to act with fortitude, doubt cannot endure. It wanes, retreats, and disappears. Fraudulent as it is, doubt does not carry genuine power. It is simply the shadow cast by fear, and shadows dissolve in the illumination of decisive action. Many have altered history through fearless living, yet few embody this truth as firmly as Susan B. Anthony. In an era when society urged silence and laws and customs combated her every utterance, she advanced with unwavering purpose. She sought neither approval nor allowed doubt to dictate her destiny. Her mission was unequivocal: justice, equality, and a steadfast belief in the dignity of every human being. Each act of defiance against injustice diminished the doubt in her path, not only for herself, but for generations that would follow. Her fearless commitment silenced uncertainty and paved the way where none had existed before. What she accomplished, you too can achieve. Understand that the moment you choose to believe wholeheartedly in your mission, doubt loses its power. It can no longer influence your judgment or stall your actions. You become immune to its grip, for your vision has become more powerful than your fear. It is not doubt that halts you, it is your tolerance for it. When you proceed with clarity and fully commit to your purpose, something profound occurs. You cease to seek signs or await the right moment. Instead, you become the architect of moments. You begin to believe, not because the world affirms you, but because you have affirmed yourself. Fearless action is the antidote that silences the inner voice questioning, "What if I fail?" and replaces it with, "What if I succeed beyond measure?" Doubt flourishes in stillness and grows in delay, but it cannot coexist with movement. When you take that first step, regardless of uncertainty, doubt begins to lose its foundation. With each bold action, you reinforce your belief, and with every courageous decision, your confidence continues to flourish. Do not wait to feel certain. Certainty is not a prerequisite for action. Rather, it is the outcome of action. Reflect on this. How many dreams have perished in the waiting rooms of doubt? How many talents have faded from view because their originators listened to fear? This must not be your narrative. The world rewards those who take action, who risk, who dare, not because they are devoid of doubt, but because they refuse to surrender to it. Doubt poses questions, whereas fearlessness provides answers. Doubt pauses. Fearlessness decides. In every scenario, it is action that transforms, action that bolsters confidence, and action that opens doors. Within you lies a mission, a purpose bestowed to no one but you. Do not permit doubt to diminish its brilliance. Choose belief, choose clarity, choose action. Because when you act fearlessly, you invite certainty, create momentum, and forge strength. Doubt cannot withstand a soul ignited with conviction. Let your purpose shine more brightly than your fears. Let your actions resonate louder than your hesitations. Fearless action is not merely a feeling. It is a conscious decision. With each decision, you distance yourself from doubt and gravitate toward destiny. Moreover, it nurtures confidence. A prevalent myth asserts that confidence is an inherent trait, that some individuals simply possess it while others do not. Let me clarify. Confidence is not inherited, it is earned. It is constructed, and like any muscle, it only develops through use. Confidence emerges from fearless actions, deliberate steps taken in the face of uncertainty. Each time you boldly move forward, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. I trust myself. Over time, this trust solidifies. Confidence does not entail the absence of doubt. Rather, it signifies triumph over doubt. It embodies the steadfast decision to act, even when inner dialogues proclaim, "You are not ready, Simone." Consider Theodore Roosevelt. As a child, he was physically frail and often unwell. He was timid, sheltered, and fragile. However, he chose, both once and daily, to transform himself. He subjected himself to rigorous physical training, committed to public service, and navigated the trials of leadership. Every act of courage, every conscious choice to embrace discomfort, forged a new layer of confidence within him. He did not wait to feel confident before taking the initiative. He took the initiative, and in doing so, confidence was born. You possess that same capability. Imagine confidence as a wellspring. Each fearless decision is a drop. Every challenge embraced creates a flowing stream. Each time you vocalize your thoughts when silence is simpler, and every time you take that first step without assurance of the next, you contribute to an ever-growing reservoir of self-trust. Ultimately, this reservoir will overflow. You will start moving differently, speaking with clarity, deciding without hesitation. Not because fear has disappeared, but because you have risen. Confidence is not a final destination. It is a continual practice. It manifests in moments when you could retreat, yet you stand tall instead. It develops when you feel vulnerable, yet press forward regardless. It forms when you challenge the belief that you are not enough. Every extraordinary leader, every person who achieves something meaningful, initiates their journey with a single act of faith in themselves. That initial act leads to another, and another, until belief becomes their essence. If you wait until you feel prepared, you will wait indefinitely. The way to readiness is simply to be. Confidence flourishes through exposure to challenges. Just as a muscle tears and rebuilds stronger, so too does your self-belief. The more you push your boundaries, the larger your capacity becomes. The more you act in harmony with your purpose, the more assured you become of your trajectory. These are not random occurrences. They are repetitions, the rigorous lifts of personal development. With each one, you grow stronger. And herein lies true beauty. Confidence multiplies. Small victories today lay the groundwork for grand victories tomorrow. One moment of courage plants the seed for a confident identity, eventually cultivating the individual you will become, not by chance but through intention. The person who persistently takes action despite fear becomes unstoppable. His self-trust is not founded on illusions, but on solid evidence. He has faced hardship and triumphed. He has navigated uncertainty, yet found stability beneath his feet. He no longer craves applause or waits for validation. He knows you can embody that capable individual too, but this transformation will not come merely from thought. Confidence is not theoretical, it is experiential. You must live it, practice it, and earn it. Each day presents two choices: return to comfort or embrace growth. When you consistently opt for growth, you broaden your potential. You must act as if confidence resides within you. It is indeed present. Walk with the conviction of someone who understands that confidence is constructed, not bestowed. Begin now. Even if you must start small, take that initial step. Each courageous stride you make generates momentum, and with enough momentum, nothing can hold you back. Confidence is not something for which you must wait. It is something you must create. Once you cultivate it, you will enter every room, face every challenge, and pursue every dream with an unwavering sense of belonging. True success is not transient, flickering like a candle for a brief moment only to vanish with the wind. Rather, enduring success spans decades and generations, and it is never achieved through fleeting emotions or fortunate coincidences. Lasting success is built upon a foundation of fearless action, resilient character, and unwavering growth. Recognize that true success is not accidental. It is engineered through consistent, courageous choices made over time. It is not solely about achieving a singular goal. It is about evolving into someone who achieves steadily, guided by their beliefs and actions under pressure. Cornelius Vanderbilt began his empire not from wealth or connections, but with a humble ferry operation, modest in nature, yet behind it lay an indomitable spirit, unwilling to be restrained. Vanderbilt recognized opportunity where others perceived risk. He pursued every chance with an unwavering determination and made bold decisions. As he expanded his undertaking, reinvested, and branched into areas where others hesitated, that small ferry operation eventually transformed into a shipping and railroad empire that would redefine American industry. Yes, his wealth became substantial, but even more significantly, it endured because it was rooted in a fearless vision and deliberate action taken daily. Understand that while momentary success may come to anyone, enduring greatness is reserved for those willing to confront their fears consistently. Fear takes many forms, masquerading as caution, hesitation, or logical reasoning. Yet its ultimate goal remains unchanging: to prevent you from advancing. The person who achieves lasting success does not rid themselves of fear. They learn to act regardless. They recognize that every instant of hesitation equates to a lost opportunity, and each delay represents a backward step. Thus, they choose action. They repeatedly choose courage. Authentic success, the kind resilient to market crashes, criticism, or chaos, requires a firm foundation built upon three principles: fearless commitment, consistent action, and persistent courage. Fearless commitment thus implies being fully invested, not when it's convenient, not solely when conditions are favorable, but especially amid uncertainty. You do not simply flirt with success, you commit to it wholeheartedly and show up unreservedly for it every day. Consistent action entails undertaking necessary work even when no one is observing. It involves taking bold steps, not sporadically, but continuously, each and every day. While a singular act of boldness may lead to success, frequent courageous actions establish an empire. Persistent courage signifies that you do not fall apart in moments of failure. You do not crumble under resistance. Instead, you view each setback as fuel and each difficulty as an impetus to grow stronger rather than weaker. To achieve lasting success, forsake the pursuit of shortcuts, applause, or the anticipation of feeling ready. Instead, ground your success on solid foundations, face your fears daily, speak out when it feels uncomfortable, take steps where others fear to tread, welcome opportunities that intimidate you, lean toward challenges that others tend to avoid. This is the process through which enduring success is born. It does not arise in a single moment. Rather, it develops from thousands of courageous days stacked upon one another. Each of these days may appear inconspicuous, perhaps even invisible to the world around you, but you will recognize the transformation. You will sense the momentum building, and eventually, others will recognize it too, not merely through what you have accomplished, but in who you have become. The world celebrates those who persist purposefully, honoring those who rise after each fall, applauding those who consistently tackle the difficult tasks as part of their lifestyle. So, refuse to settle for temporary acclaim or bask mindlessly in a brief flash of brilliance. Strive for a legacy. Let your success stand as a testament to fearless living, a masterclass in unshakable commitment. When your actions are courageous, your achievements become ageless. Optimism fuels courage. If courage serves as the engine for fearless living, then optimism is the indispensable fuel that lights the inner fire, the catalyst that elevates you even when the weight of the world seeks to hold you down. Optimism is not merely a pleasant disposition or a superficial mindset. It is a formidable strategic weapon for those determined to conquer fear and ascend to greatness. Recognize this: optimism does not equate to denying difficulty. Rather, it embodies choosing to believe in possibilities while navigating through fires. It articulates the unwavering resolution to see beyond immediate challenges and recognize the opportunities hidden within. Consider Benjamin Franklin, a man who faced hardships, failures, and ridicule. Born into modest circumstances with limited formal education, he confronted a plethora of setbacks in both science and politics. Yet he never descended into despair. Why? Because he made the choice to remain optimistic. He utilized every obstacle as a stepping stone. Each rejection became redirection. His optimistic outlook empowered him with the stamina to persevere, even when others found solace in quitting. Through this resilient optimism, Franklin evolved into a statesman, inventor, philosopher, and one of the foundational architects of a nation. His achievements were not solely the results of intelligence or talent. They originated from the belief that something better was always attainable. You must adopt the same perspective. Fear flourishes in negativity. It thrives on worst-case scenarios, imagined failures, and the belief that success is improbable. But by embracing optimism, you deprive fear of its fuel, draining it of its momentum. An optimistic person views challenges not as warning signs to withdraw, but as signals to rise. Such an individual trusts there is always a way forward, entering turbulent situations not out of ignorance concerning risk, but with an awareness that once the storm passes, the sun will shine again. Optimism energizes you, sustaining your momentum. Without it, courage can become exhausting. While you may begin with zest, lack of a hopeful vision will deplete your strength. However, when you fill your mind with possibilities and concentrate on progress, rather than striving for perfection, you foster the endurance necessary for long-lasting victory. Imagine this. Every objective necessitates a journey, and on every journey, storms will emerge. If your mind remains filled with dread, you will hesitate at every instance of thunder. Yet, if your heart anchors in hope, you will persevere even when the route proves unclear. This is not wishful thinking. It is strategic guidance. Optimism does not signify evasion of reality. It represents mastery over it. It acknowledges that, yes, the situation is challenging, yet asserts, I am more formidable. In essence, yes, the path is steep, but I am climbing. Yes, the odds are difficult, but my will is stronger. Optimism must be chosen each day. It is forged by what you consume, how you communicate, whom you associate with, and the thoughts you nurture. Feed your mind with uplifting truths. Speak potential into existence over limitations. Surround yourself with those who elevate and challenge you, and vigilantly safeguard your mental landscape. Every act of optimism is a declaration of war against fear. What does this look like in practice? It entails declaring, I will find a path even if others deem it impossible. It means regarding failure as information, not defeat. It indicates having confidence in the progress your efforts may yield, even when outcomes take time. It embodies standing tall when others falter. Most importantly, it revolves around the steadfast belief that the future holds significance, that your best work remains ahead, and that you deserve more. Optimism imparts purpose to your courage, transforming your perspective, reinforcing your resolve, and sharpening your focus. You are not destined to be overwhelmed. You are born to rise. The person who lives with optimism does not merely radiate cheer. Rather, he becomes a formidable adversary to fear. He is unbreakable in facing hardship, unshakable by failure, and unstoppable by delays. He observes the mountain, yet climbs it regardless. Let this individual be you. Choose optimism, not as an emotion, but as a disciplined practice. Train your eyes to seek goodness, train your mind to anticipate strength, train your heart to believe. With such conviction, you will become invincible. Optimism does not signify weakness. It serves as fuel, and with it, your fearless living will remain unbounded. Your future relies on this truth, one so powerful that it has the potential to alter the course of your entire life. Your future success hinges entirely on your willingness to act without fear. Success is not a treasure waiting to be discovered in the distance. It is not an endpoint stumbled upon by chance. Rather, it is a structure constructed day by day, choice by choice, action by action. And the raw material of that construction is fearlessness. The life you envision, the individual you aspire to become, is not obscured in the years ahead. Instead, he is sculpted in this present moment through your choices. Clearly define the person you wish to be. Visualize him in vivid detail. Observe his habits, standards, strengths, discipline, and purpose. Once this vision attains clarity, you must do that which most individuals avoid. Move toward it without trepidation. Do not wait until you feel prepared. Do not wait until fear dissipates. Fear will always linger, but it is not your master. It is your test. Every esteemed figure in history, every monumental achievement, began with a single fearless decision. A moment when someone chose action over hesitation, purpose over fear. Fearless decisions signify the birthplace of destiny. Your future is not something that simply occurs to you. It is something you fashion, and it is fashioned in this moment, the present. How you act today determines what becomes possible tomorrow. Your thoughts, actions, words, and resistance to procrastination serve as the foundations of greatness. Most people will never come to this realization. They will meander, waiting for the perfect moment, allowing fear to have the final say, surrendering their futures to chance. Yet you are not like most people. You have grasped the truth, and with truth comes accountability. You now understand that every moment functions as a fork in the road, a chance to either lean into courage or shrink back into comfort. Your destiny is not written in the stars. It resides in your choices. Every time you boldly choose to act, to move purposefully, to voice your truth, you align your life with greatness. Each time you resist procrastination, confront your fears, and take the step that intimidates you, you create a future in which you can take pride. The extraordinary life you seek is not exclusive to the fortunate or the gifted. It belongs to the brave. So, begin today. Take that courageous first step. Launch the business. Initiate the conversation. Voice that idea. Change the habit. Break the pattern. Do not look around for permission. Do not wait for validation. Look within and take action. You are the architect of your destiny, and the tools are already in your possession. Fear may knock, but greatness answers first. Let your choices today reflect the individual you are becoming. Let your actions declare, I am ready, I am worthy, I am willing. The future you dream of is not distant. It is merely one fearless step away. Embrace fearlessness wholeheartedly. Let it become your benchmark. Allow its resonance to echo through every aspect of your life, your work, your relationships, your purpose, your vision. In doing so, watch your life reflect not only progress, but also power. Not just success, but significance. You deserve the extraordinary, but you must seize it. The only way to claim it is through fearless action, starting now. Embrace fearlessness and witness your dreams evolve into reality. Act now for your limitless future.